I'm gonna just wait like a minute to see who else is going to join us. How was your day?
My day was good. I kind of been in this lazy little energy because I think it's the holiday and then like this it's cold outside. So my energy level's I've been productive, but it's been a little low. So that's how my today was, just like really relaxed in a sense. So
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that. But how your day?
My day was good. I've been like packing a lot in one day, and I think I need to slow down a little bit because I'm trying to get so many things done at one time. So it's just like I just need to slow down. And I feel tired, but I feel motivated at the same time. So it's just kind of like I'm just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing.
Yes, no, I really relate to that. I feel like I'm feeling the same way. I'm doing too much. I need
Too much.
I need to figure this thing out. But I just
Right.
literally had the thought today was like, like what business I'm going to focus on for 2022 and really just so I can just be less stressful. I
Right.
don't want my 2022, even though 2021 wasn't that bad, with COVID and all, but 2022, I definitely see where I can make some changes.
Hmm. So we plan on implementing some of these goals we want set tonight.
That's right.
So we
That
can slow it down and get our energy right and all those things like that.
all of that. Yes.
So I'm gonna just go ahead and kind of get started. So this is a recorded line. So whoever's not on here, they'll be able to go back and watch it, play it back. So we just gonna do it just like whoever's late, whoever's what I mean, they're gonna come back and watch it. So first I'm going to introduce sisters. And I kind of got like a little intro that I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna introduce you, and then we can get started.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. And we are right here. So, peace, family. Welcome to all who are joining us for the first time and all who will be coming back to watch this tonight. My name is Tawana Gooden. I am the executive director of Sister Supporting Sisters, a self-help group dedicated to the personal development of the women of the community, particularly Black and Brown women of the community. Our goal is to raise awareness for anxiety and depression relief. We have been able to do that by hosting our weekly walkathon, our online support group, Sisters Grace. We are developing several wellness programs, and we host intimate community events. I have several partners, Shayna Starks, Cheryl Johnson, and Shayna Beasley. This is our second annual speaker series, and the purpose of this series is to provide the community with information on topics that plague our community, create a dialogue moving forward, and provide resources that help us as a whole. Our topic tonight will be goal setting. So, goal setting helps trigger new behaviors, helps guide your focus, and helps you sustain that momentum in your life. Goals also help align your focus and promote a sense of self mastery. In the end, you can't manage what you don't measure, and you can't improve upon something you don't properly manage. Setting goals gives you a long term vision and short term motivation. It focuses it focuses your acquisition of knowledge and helps you organize your time and resources so that you can make the most out of life. Some benefits of goal setting that Ms. Antoinette might be covering, but just a little heads up. It provides direction. First and foremost, goals give you a direction and it also gives you a destination. So you have a roadmap. It's kind of like setting up a roadmap for your life and you know where you're going. It's kind of like you're not blindsided about certain things well, you may be blindsided by certain things that come your way, but you'll be more prepared for the things that's coming your way because you have a plan for yourself. So it'll give you clarity in decision making, gives you control over your future for the most part, provides motivation, gives you a sense of personal satisfaction, and also kind of gives you a sense of purpose in life. So I don't know if you'll be touching on tonight, but I kind of wanted to talk about SMART goals.
Yeah, let me say my presentation and then you can go into what you want to talk about. I have
Okay.
things. to talk about during this goal manifestation process that we're going to be talking about today.
Okay, cool. So let me just introduce you then, Miss Antoinette. So look, clear your name up. Is it Antoinette? Is it Antinette?
It is
Which one is
Antinette.
Antoinette? Yeah, I knew it was. Okay, so Miss Antoinette, this is her second time joining us to speak or host one of our speaker series. We truly appreciate all you do. You're always uplifting the community, always very consistent, and we know it's all good when Antoinette is in the hood. I know that was corny, but
that was cute. I like it.
I just thought about that earlier. I said it's true because she always just uplifting us and motivating us and stuff. You always got something going on online, posting constantly. You're very consistent. I'm just always admiring your drive and your consistency. So back to Miss Antoinette and a little bit about her background. Miss Antoinette is an entrepreneur in manifestation. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry, guys. Save. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. Back to it. I'm sorry, my thing kind of cut off a little bit over here. Okay, Ms. Antinette Watson is an entrepreneur and manifestation expert, is passionate about living her best life and supporting others in doing the same. Antinette graduated from the Delaware State University with her bachelor's degree in social work in 2012. She continued her education at Wilmington University, where she received her master's in administration of human services in 2015. Antinette's childhood experiences fueled her passion for education and entrepreneurship and advocacy, leading Antinette to work in the human service field for over a decade, working in a variety of roles and working with some of the most vulnerable populations. After 10 years of working in the human service field, Antinette founded the Stand DE LLC. The Stand DE LLC is an organization focused on supporting food and customer service professionals with the tools they need to excel personally and professionally. Antinette is passionate about serving her people, win and providing them, passionate about seeing her people win. I'm sorry, Miss Antinette. Miss Antinette is passionate about seeing her people win and providing them with opportunities to do so. When Antinette is not handling business, you can find her spending time with family and friends, catching up on Hulu, or asking Alexa to play her favorite tune. Yeah. So without further ado, we have Miss Antinette to host our goal setting workshop tonight.
Yes, thank you, Tawana. Thank you so much. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you for always, thinking of me and giving me opportunity. I really love what y'all are doing out here and having these workshops and having those women support meetings. Like that's going to help our community grow and, just be the best that we can be. We all need to be supported. So I appreciate, what y'all do for sure. And thank you for always giving me an opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I do have a PowerPoint here. Can you share the screen with me? Okay.
I'm trying to get it on here right now.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
Thank you. And let me get it. Okay. Can y'all see it?
Yes, ma'am. We can see it.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and get right started then. All right, so as y'all see, the title of today is How to Reach Every Goal You Set for Yourself in 2020. And this is a process focused on supporting you in designing and living your best life in every area of your life, not just in 2022, not just in 2022, but beyond, okay? But before we get into today's presentation, I would like to just do introductions. I see that Kiara is in here. So just everybody in here, can you just tell me your name, what you do, and one goal you wish to accomplish in 2022? Anybody can go.
I'm Kiara. I'm a mental health therapist. And my goal in 2022 is to increase my clientele and merge my two practices together and kind of just have one functioning, one big practice versus two separate entities. So I can just focus my attention in one direction.
Yes, I love it. Yeah, I'm on that same type time too with my businesses this year. That's one of my goals too, combining it. So thank you for sharing, Kiara. And Tawana.
Yes. So my name is Tawana. So one of my goals this year is to really just establish the holistic wellness program for sisters. We've been kind of working on it for a while, and I didn't want to just put anything out. I kind of wanted it to be official and helpful for a lot of women, especially women that's coming into like re-entry programs. So that's one of my goals, to really like get that on the ground and get it up and moving.
Nice. And I know you're going to do that because you're determined too. So I wish y'all much success on y'all goals. And I know that's going to happen for y'all. So thank y'all for sharing, for sure.
Thank you.
So we're going to get into the goal manifestation process. So this is something that I have been doing consciously ever since 2015, and it's now 2021. So ever since 2015, I've been engaging in this process, and since then, I have been literally reaching every goal that I set for myself. Now, before then, I was just doing the most. I was all over the place. I didn't really have a focus. I really didn't know what my purpose was or what I wanted to accomplish in my life. But after I left my son's father at around that time, I moved back with my mom, and then I ended up going to my grandfather's house. And I was first living with my mom. I was living in the basement, and I didn't like that. So then I ended up moving to my grandfather's house, and being there, I was just like, you know what? I do not want this to be my life. I do not want to live a life where I'm dependent on people. I don't want to be living a life where I can't afford to, get my own place, or I can't afford to stay on my own and all of that. And at that time, I began to ask myself, like, what do I have to do to be successful? Like, God, I was talking to God, like, I just want to be successful. How can I be successful? So at that time, I did what I think most millennials would do at that time. And I turned to Google, I went to Google and I was like, what do successful people have to do? Or what do people have to do to be successful? And it was at that time when I did that Google search, all these articles came up for me. And one of the things that they told me was to focus on 8 areas of my life. And ever since 2015, I have been focusing on these 8 areas of my life. And that has been helpful for me. So that's a part of the goal manifestation process. But I just wanted to give y'all a little back history on, since 2015, I have accomplished so much, getting out of abusive relationship, being able to get out of debt, being able to raise my credit score, being able to start my businesses, not 1, but 2, being able to get a grant and start my workforce development program. All of that started with this goal manifestation process. So this process is really, really important to me. And I know it works if you just do the work. So we're going to get into it. So what the goal manifestation process is, the first step in the goal manifestation process, and mind you, I want to say that it's very simple, but a lot of things that are simple is hard to, people have a hard time implementing what's simple, I feel like. So it's simple, but I'm telling you, it works. So the first thing we want to do is you want to pick a day and time for you to implement this goal manifestation process, right? So ideally, you want to pick a time where you have minimal interruptions. If you're a mom, or you work a 9 to 5 or whatever the case may be, sometimes that might be early in the morning before the kids wake up, or late at night when they go to bed, or just on a day that you don't have them at all. But you definitely want to engage in this process when you have less interruptions, like, because you just want to spend time with yourself and not have to do this and this and that and you just want to focus on yourself during this goal manifestation process. So step number 1 is pick a day and time for you to, implement this practice. The second step is you want to gather all your manifestation tools. So you already have the date. Now you want to gather all the things that you need. So the basic requirements, if you want to just keep it basic, and there's nothing wrong with basic, it's okay. But only thing you simply really need is a notebook, a writing utensil, and an open mind. That's it. If you want to engage in this process, all you ultimately need is a notebook, a writing utensil, and an open mind. Because when you begin to figure out what it is that you want to manifest in this world, if you don't write it down, then anything not written down is just a dream. You have to write it down so that it signifies to the universe, it signifies to God that you are serious when you begin to add that pen to paper and you write down your goals. If you don't write it down, you just dreaming. And at the end of the day, in 2022, we're no longer dreaming. We are taking action on our goals and bringing our visions into fruition. And the one way we can do that is by writing down what it is that we want to accomplish. So those are the basic requirements: the notebook, the writing utensil, and the open mind. But then you can also make it spicy. I like to do this at least once a month. So with making it spicy, I like to make it a date with myself. So like I said, the kids are not here. Normally I do this like once a month where the kids are not here. They're either away with my mom or their grandparents or whatever the case, or with their father, whatever the case may be. And I make sure I have my music playing, like my Alexa app playing. I turn on my favorite playlist. I have my wine. I order me some food, or I cook me a nice meal. And then sometimes I use my tarot cards, because for me, I like tarot, and I engage in this practice every month. My wine, my music, my tarot, along with my notebook, my writing utensils, and my open mind. So these are all the tools that you need to engage in this manifestation process. Really just a notebook, a writing utensil, and an open mind. But if you want to make it spicy, like I said, you can add other things into this situation to, make it an event. Make it an event. So step number 3, when you have your date, you have all your manifestation tools, and now you're sitting down and you're ready to manifest. You want to respond to the following 8 questions. And I hope y'all have pen and paper so y'all can write down these 8 questions, because these are important. And while you're in this process, you can be here you can engage in this practice for like 1 hour. Sometimes I get so into it where I'm just sitting with myself, enjoying myself. And I've been there for about 4 hours sometimes, just manifesting what it is that I want to happen in my life. So you want to respond to the following 8 questions. Question number 1 is, what are my business goals for 2022? What are my business goals for 2022? When you want to ask yourself that question, reflect on that question, and then write down whatever comes up for you. Whatever comes up for you, there's no right or wrong answer. Just write it out, So what are my business goals for 2022? Question number 2. What are my financial goals for 2022? What are my financial goals for 2022? So write down whatever comes up for you in this area. There's no right or wrong answer, right? But you just want to begin thinking about it. All right. Question number 3. How do I want to build, maintain, and or improve my relationships in 2022? How do I want to build, maintain, and or improve my relationships in 2022? And we're talking about romantic and platonic relationships, like with your family, with your friends, with your kids, your relationships. How do you want to improve, maintain, or build your relationships in 2022? Question number 4. In what ways can I improve my mental and physical health in 2022? What ways can I improve my mental and physical health in 2022? Question number 5. In what ways can I have more fun in 2022? Because I like to say all work and no play is just simply whack, okay? You can't just work too much and not enjoy the fruits of your labor. So we have to spend some time really thinking about what can I do to bring more joy and bring more fun in my life where I'm not always working all the time? Like I always tell the story where when I was in the 7-Eleven and there was this lady in there and she was saying how her and her husband, they were celebrating like their 60th anniversary or something. And she was bragging, basically saying how they never been out the country. They never been nowhere. They never do nothing. All they do was work. But she was bragging about this as she's talking about them still doing the same thing on their 60th anniversary. And I'm like, that's not life. Like, who wants to be with somebody for 60 years and you can't travel? Y'all not traveling together. Y'all not creating no memories together. All y'all doing is working. Like, that's not life. At the end of the day, you can create the life that you want. And I know that you must know that you wasn't born to just go to work, pay bills, and come home and then do that for 70 years and then die or retire or whatever the case may be. That's not the life that you have to stick with. You can create a life that you want. So you just have to ask yourself these questions. So question number 5, like I said, is in what ways can I have more fun in 2022? And then question number 6 is what contributions can I make in 2022? How can I give back to my society or to the community or to maybe my kids' school, or if I'm in school, how can I give back to my school's community or my family or whatever? But what are your contributions to the world? Like, what mark are you going to make on the world in 2022? I know for me, I've been saying that I wanted to, in 2022, I want to connect with Mom's House, because when I was I'm not growing up, but when I was pregnant with my son in college, Mom's House really helped me to get my degree. They offer free childcare and to parents who are going to school and stuff like that. And to me, I really want to give back to that organization some way, somehow in 2022. So that's one of the many things that I want to do in 2022. Number 7 is how can I build a better relationship with God, right? At the end of the day, and I'm not talking about on a religious level, but I'm talking about on the spiritual level. Like, how can I be one with God? And I have found on my spiritual journey, and I feel as though my journey has been different from other people's, and that's okay. Everybody's journey is different. But I have found in my life that the more that I am in peace, the closer that I am with God. So on my journey in 2022, when it comes to building a better spiritual relationship with God, I am attracting more peace into my life. I'm manifesting more peace into my life. I'm watching how I respond to situations. I'm watching how, the energy I let into my realm, because if it's disturbing my peace, then that means I'm not close to God and it's messing with me. So for me to build a better relationship with God, I am focused on obtaining more peace in my life and getting rid of anything that does not align with the vision I have for myself. And then last but not least, what skills can I learn in 2022 to support me in growing and developing myself? What skills can I learn in 2022 to support me in growing and developing myself? So those are the 8 questions that when you're engaging in this goal manifestation process, you definitely want to ask yourself those 8 questions. That's the foundation. And like I said, just whatever comes out, write it down and don't have no restrictions on yourself during this process. Okay, so before I move forward, any questions so far? Are we all good?
I think we're good to move forward.
All righty. So one of the things I want y'all to remember when it comes to goal setting or the manifestation process is that goals define the big picture. So when you're asking yourself those questions, your response to those questions is really the big picture of it all, because that's what goals do. Goals define the big picture. Now, a lot of us, I'm sure at this point, or maybe not, but we heard of the acronym SMART. So yes, goals are supposed to be SMART. Yes, if you look back over what you wrote down in those 8 areas, yes, they're supposed to be specific. So if you see any in your responses anywhere where you're not as specific as you can be, like you might say, I want to make more money. That's not specific enough. How much money do you want to make in 2022? If you want to raise your credit score, that's not enough. That's not a big enough goal. I mean, it's a big enough goal, but it's not specific enough. Do you want to raise it by 50 points, 100 points, or whatever the case may be, but you have to be specific, right? When I'm talking about goals and goals being measurable, it's easy for me to talk about it in money. Like, for instance, I have somebody in one of my groups that they want to save $2,000. That's their goal. So if that's your goal to save $2,000 in 2022, that's great. But the way that you can measure that goal is to break $2,000 down, divide that by 12. And then, you know, by June, if you have not saved whatever that number is that you're supposed to save per month, then you know that you're not on track to reach that goal, but that's how you measure it. So you want to see how can you measure your goals to see if you're on track to meet the goals that you set for yourself. You want your goals to be attainable, right? You don't want to just say, I had a girl say that she wanted to, by the end of 1 month, her goal was to save $1,500. I'm like, ma'am, there's no way. You don't even have $1 saved. So how you want to save $1,500 by the end of this month? No, that's not going to work. You have to make sure that it's attainable and also make sure that it's realistic, right? Because if it's not attainable and it's not realistic, when you don't reach the goal, you're going to be feeling bad on yourself. You're going to be beating yourself up. You're going to be feeling defeated, and that's not necessary. Just create attainable and realistic goals, right? And then last but not least, you want your goals to have a time on it. So ultimately, our goals for 2022 already have a time on it because these are the things that we want to accomplish by the end of 2022. But when you are creating goals, period, you always want to make sure you have a time attached. If you want to, you know, go on more dates, like that's one of my goals for my relationship. I want to spend more quality time with my man. I want to go on more dates, but that's not enough, right? How often do I want to go on dates? I want to go on dates at least once a month, right? That's a goal. That's a time on it, at least once a month. It's measurable because at the end of the day, I know that if this goal ain't completed by the 30th or the 31st, or even by the last week of the month, depending on how I decide to measure the goal, you know, it's not happening, right? So you definitely want your goals to be SMART, but bigger than SMART, the acronym, you want your goals to be impactful, okay? Your goals must not only impact you, yourself personally, yes, create major impact for yourself, but you also want your goals to impact others. At the end of the day, your goal is not just about you. It's about other people in your life, in your community. Like, that's so important. And I feel like a lot of times, well, I know with myself, when it comes to my goals, sometimes I can let myself down real easy. I got goals of working out. I'll say, you know what? I don't even feel like doing it today. I'm not going to work out. But if you tell me that, Antoinette, if you work out 3 times a day because this girl, and I'm just making this up, but say this child in Africa is going to get a meal because you worked out 3 times a week or whatever the case may be, I will get up, I will work out, I will be motivated because now I know it's not just about me. It's about that little girl in Africa that need that meal. So I'm not going to disappoint her. I'll disappoint myself, but I won't disappoint the other people that's counting on me. Like when it comes to my goals, my mom, my siblings, my community, my Black boys, like I'm really passionate about them. So on the times that I don't feel like doing anything, no, I know who's going to be impacted by my journey. So you also want to make sure that your goals are impactful. And like I said, not just for you, but for others. But also your goals must stretch you outside of your comfort zone. Like, I don't know if you heard that saying that nothing good, nothing great ever happens within your comfort zone. And it's so true. Like a lot of times people aren't reaching their goals because they're not big enough. They don't even excite you to move, to take action. So you want to have goals that excite you, that stretch you outside of your comfort zone, that can support you in just growing and elevating to the next level. But they have to stretch you. They have to scare you a little bit. If you're not scared by the goals that you have, then they're not big enough. They're not stretching you at all. So you want to make sure that your goals stretch you outside of your comfort zone. And then you also want to make sure that the goals that you set for yourself, they have to align with your personal values, right? I remember one time when I got a job, and this is when I was working at Claymont Community Center. And when I was running that program, and at the end of the day, when I first initially got that job, I thought it definitely aligned with my values and my morals and stuff like that. But when I got to being involved in my position, and I got to see like all the things that I was accomplishing and achieving, and I seen that management the leadership didn't value me as much as I value, you know, what I was doing in my program, I had to go because that didn't align with my values. My values are not, you gotta hold on. But my values would not allow me to be in an organization that does not value me, that would rather me, you know, stay in a position where I'm not getting paid I can't say my worth, because no one's ever going to pay you your worth, but they're not acknowledging all the things that you have going on, all the things that you are doing in the program. So you also want to have goals that just align with your values, right? So that's important. But a lot of times we focus on goals, right? Goals, like I said, goals are the bigger picture. That's just the bigger picture. But what are we going to do now to get us closer to our goals? So to get to the bigger picture, we must have objectives. Objectives is what gets us to our goals, okay? It's our objectives. All right, so when we're talking about objectives take broad goals, your responses to those 8 questions that I gave you earlier. It takes those broad goals and then it breaks them down into small positive steps, either toward the direction of your goal, or it breaks them down into small positive steps toward the removal of an obstacle, right? That's the main objectives. That's the main point of your objectives, right? So every time you have a goal, you need to have objectives attached to your goal, because the goal is just a big picture, but your objectives are going to get you towards the goal, okay? That's important. Don't just stop at the goal setting process. Like that's the easy part. Let's talk about these objectives and what's going to support you in, or those objectives are the things that's going to support you in getting closer to your goals. All right. So, and when we talk about objectives are also supposed to be SMART too. So they're supposed to be specific. They're supposed to be measurable. They're supposed to be attainable. They're supposed to be realistic. And then they're also supposed to have a time attached as well in objectives. So here's a little, just an activity that I wanted us to do together, and it's just a 3-minute activity. It only takes 3 minutes, but what I wanted you to do was first spend 2 minutes responding to one of the 8 manifestation questions I shared earlier, and then spend an additional minute creating one objective that will support you in getting closer to your goal. Okay, so if we can spend 2 minutes, I'm going to set my timer. 1 second. Set timer for 2 minutes. So I'm going to set my timer, just spend 2 minutes. It's already started responding to one of the 8 questions above, or that I shared earlier.
Can you go back to that slide? Did you have it listed?
I didn't have it listed. I just shared them. You want me to say them real quick?
Yeah, if you
Okay.
can.
Yep. So one, I'm going to just say them real quick. So one is, what are my business goals for 2022? What are my financial goals for 2022? How do I want to build, maintain, or improve my relationships in 2022? In what ways can I improve my mental and physical health in 2022? In what ways can I have more fun in 2022? What contributions can I make in 2022? How can I build a better spiritual relationship with God? And what skills can I learn in 2022 to support me in growing and developing myself? Those are the 8 questions. So you just got to pick one.
And you said one objective to support, correct?
Yes, one objective to support what you wrote. I was going to give y'all additional minute to do that. So the 2 minutes about to be up right now. Where am I be?
That was quick.
I know. That's why I say these minutes, this can take a while. I'm really going through it.
I was struggling to see what question I wanted to answer.
Well, we could always take it's only us on here right now, so we can always take a few more minutes if if we need it, for sure.
Oh, we good.
Okay.
I think the one I wanted to answer was my financial goals, but believe it or not, I need to answer number 5.
Okay.
How can I have more fun? Because
Yes,
my life feels dried out.
yes, I feel you. That's mine.
It's like all I've been doing is just work, work, work. It's just like, come on, sis, you got to do better than this.
Yeah, for real. This ain't life. We can't just keep working and not, enjoy ourselves. That's one of my areas for 2022 that I have to elevate in.
But you know what's crazy though? I think a lot of the things that we want to do to have more fun, we've been kind of put at standstill because of COVID. Yep. So it's kind of like we want to go on outings, we want to go to a lounge, maybe go to a lunch or, but you just never know.
Right. Yes. That's definitely putting a strain on everything because you don't know with COVID and what's going on.
It don't matter if you got the vaccine or if you don't, you could still get COVID. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's better off to stay home.
Right. For sure.
I don't know.
I'm gonna pick the same one.
You pick the same one?
I think everyone just needs to have more fun.
Yeah.
Right.
We need to all go out together. We all boring, so we need to have
girl, we is dried out. We be looking cute, but be dried out.
Okay. Only time to get cute is for a Zoom call.
Okay, because I would have not put on this little bit of makeup, honey. I would have been over here looking crazy.
You look beautiful. Y'all both do.
Well, thank you.
I just said to my sister, I feel like I'm wasting all my good clothes on these people. I don't even care about work. Like, I'm just wearing this because I don't got nowhere else to go.
Okay.
You got to start taking some pictures so you can have proof that you was looking at cute.
So true.
I was like, I should do a video, but I don't feel like it. I only want to do it because I look cute.
Right. Yeah.
That's a good reason, though.
That is.
You got to celebrate that you look cute. Celebrate that you got up and got dressed.
No.
Okay.
I have to, because if I don't, then I'm not going to be motivated to do anything.
I feel you.
Yes, for sure. So we know now that, okay, so y'all said everybody said fun. So what is one objective that y'all are going to do to support you and getting closer to having more fun?
That's a good question.
And we got to be more specific too, because that's not even specific enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I know for me that I have to be more intentional about planning things because I can let it go real easy to just be like, well, if it was somebody else, like somebody else needed to do it, then I'll make the time. But if it's something I want to do, the time will come and I'll be like, I don't really want to go anymore. Yeah. And then I'll be mad afterwards that I didn't go because I don't feel that way anymore. So just doing the things that I want to do for me, no matter what.
Yes, and pushing past those feelings in that moment where we don't feel like it, because that's probably just habit anyway.
Yeah.
We gotta break out of that habit because that's me too. Well, I'll be so hyped before the event, and then on that day, I'll be tired. I don't feel like doing nothing. I'm like,
okay, you gotta find something to wear, do your hair. You know what that's telling though? That's telling us that we get old a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's no possible way we should be like feeling draggy or just not feeling motivated to do our hair or get dressed and go out to lunch. Come on. Like that is just,
I know.
Yeah. But like you said, COVID too. COVID definitely does play a big part in that. And then with it being winter, y'all, we got to offer ourselves a little bit of grace because it's winter time. Nobody got time. I'm just saying.
Nah. I'm starting to think you making excuses. Because sound like me because before COVID even hit, I was still acting the same. Now that's me being like I still was acting like an old lady, like not doing nothing.
See, I don't know. I feel like COVID been here so darn long. I can't even remember what was life like pre-COVID.
Right.
Life was better. Life was better.
It definitely. It definitely was better.
It was more fruitful, I guess.
For sure.
For me, I feel like I knew I've met more people during COVID than I knew. Like I didn't do anything outside of my little bubble, like work, or I either knew people from work, I knew them from church, or I knew them from my husband. And I didn't have anybody in Delaware that was just like people that I hung around just because I had a common interest in them. And it wasn't until the pandemic where I was like, see, I kept saying I needed to make friends. And now I really do need to make friends. And so I really started meeting people outside of like those circles. And not that there's anything wrong with those people in those circles and doing things, but there's a different like level of motivation to do things outside of that realm. So for me, it was just like, it's always been like, I'm trying to get here. I got to get my license. I got to get these hours. I got to do this. I got to work, you know, a demanding job. And then it was, you know, I got to fund the dream. Now I got to work and I got to start my business. And that,
it's so much.
There was never really an opportunity to just be like, let's just enjoy, you know, and then you say you want to do it, but then it comes down to fun or rest. And rest always wins.
Always. Every time.
But I don't want to be so burnt out anymore that I can't have fun. So that's my goal. And as hard as it is to kind of decide between like certain responsibilities, I realized that something has to go in 2022.
Yeah, I think definitely with you combining your businesses though, that is definitely going to help so you can be focused. Because they always say the power of one. And we be trying to do too much, and we just got to put our focus on this one thing and then let that thing manifest to really what we want it to be and then move on. But we were trying to, at least I know I do too. We trying to just do too much all at the same time. And it's just like, no.
Yeah. No. And I need to quit my job. So that's another thing.
Well, I'm speaking that into your life.
Quit my job and be full-time entrepreneur.
Amen. I'm speaking that into your life right now. You got that already done, 2022. So
and I'm gonna just piggyback off of that a little bit because I think mine is more so burnout too. Like trying to do too much. I have like several different businesses and a full-time job. So it's kind of just like, come on, sis, you gotta like pick at least two things at one time. You know what I mean? You build on this, focus on this, and then move on to the next thing. I am literally managing several different businesses at one time, and it puts a strain. You got to do legal work, you got to do marketing, you got to do branding, you got to do team building, you got to do posting. It's so many things that you have to do just to keep your businesses afloat. You know what I mean? You have to track your progress. You have to do financial, banking. It's so many things. So it's kind of just like, then you want to do community work. You want to stay involved within the community. You want to, you got to keep yourself good. You got to keep your spiritual right. It's so many things to focus on. So it's kind of like, I think I just really, and I've been saying this to myself for a while, I need to focus on one or two things at one time. And I think that the burden for me comes in, it feels like if I only focus on these two, that means I'm neglecting this, or you know what I mean, or I'm falling behind on this, or I need to make sure I get this done. But the reality is all of that stuff is going to be there.
Yes.
All of that stuff is going to be there. It's not going nowhere. If I'm building it, if I'm nurturing it, even if it's behind the scenes or when I get a chance, it's still there. So I really just need to cut the burnout out and really just focus on one or two things at a time.
Yes, focus on those one or two things at a time, because you'll have more time to put into those one or two things. And then, like I said, it will manifest at a faster rate and it'll already be going. And then you can have more time to focus on, the other stuff that you want to do. And then we're supposed to live till we like 80, 100. Like we have so much time and we really be trying to do the most in our 30s and our 20s. And it's like, yo, you really got all this time to really like manifest.
I think that's a good conversation piece to have is to talk about kind of feeling like you behind on something or you too, like it's too late or you gotta get you left behind in life or you know what I mean? Like we gotta catch up or something. Like I think that needs to definitely be a conversation piece because who's really keeping track? You know what I mean?
Yes, and it's so true. Like y'all should see me in my house the way I literally be up 5 o'clock in the morning working. I might take a nap midday, then I don't go to sleep till 1 o'clock in the morning. And I be talking to myself like at a moment, I say, Antoinette, you're doing this all for like, I know it's for my people. Like, don't get me wrong, it is for my people. They keep me going. But I'm like, I'm my own boss. You can literally do 8 and skate. Like, you don't have to be out here doing 6. You're not getting paid no overtime. You're not getting none of that. You just out here. But it does bring me joy to be in this space, to be able to do, but it's all about like balance, or all about, I guess, like you said, figuring it out, but also knowing that we are not in a rush. We ain't in a rush.
It's no race. What's the race? Where you going?
Like you said, except for you.
Right. Yeah.
Like except for you. And like I always say, we need to just give ourselves some grace and some space. Like we just need to allow even on the times when I just started getting comfortable, like listening to my body and just taking a day. I'm happy that I could do that, but I just started getting comfortable doing that because sometimes when I'm listening to my body, my mind is still like saying, I could be doing this, I could be doing that, I could be doing this, where I can't even enjoy myself. And it's just like, no, that's not life. That's the type of culture that they're trying to, that hustle and bustle lifestyle, but that's literally not how we have to be. And that's why it's important for us to engage in this manifestation process so we can get clear on what it is that we want, what it is that we want to achieve, what it is that we want to do, not based off of society and the message that they're putting into our mind, but no, taking that moment for yourself where you're in your quiet time, in your quiet space and asking yourself really these questions based off of you. Like, what do I want? Not based off of what's going to be best for my kids or what's going to be best for my husband or no, what's going to be best for me. That's important. That's really
I think entrepreneurs get caught up in that. Like we really get caught up in that mindset. Like that's how we got to move. Do you know how many sticky notes I write a day for? It's played out. It's played out. I have like a stack thick, like to go back and say, oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to work on my credit. Oh, I got to call these people back. Oh, come on. No. It's too much. It's way too much for you. It's overload on your brain.
Yes, I was just about to say, all them sticky notes that you got are open tabs in your head.
Girl.
And if you had a computer with all those open tabs in your head, what would happen to your computer?
It's going to crash.
Yes. And burn.
So you need to rip up some of them, whatever, rip them up, and then focus on.
Or say, we'll do this another time. When I'm done with A, then I'll do B.
That's it.
That's the plan.
But don't put more than 3 things on your to-do list. And why they keep piling up? What are you not knocking off?
It's not even that I knock off so much during the day, but it's so many different categories of things, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
It's categories.
Yep.
And then it's even, I'm accepting things from my grandmother, her to-do list. So it's like, come on, I already got my whole 50 pack of sticky notes sticking over here, and you trying to throw the rest of yours on mine, baby.
And their to-do list, because that's the same thing.
These grandmoms is in the way.
It's all about boundaries, yo. I be telling my mom, it's about boundaries. So
they hate it. They think you being disrespectful.
Yeah, but I'm not. But when you was in your prime time, I don't know what you was doing.
Oh, yes.
I'm in my prime time. So
you had the chance. You had the chance to live your life the way you wanted to. You did the things you wanted to do. And now when I say I can't do that today because I got something to handle or I'm just not, it's a problem.
That's your problem. It ain't my problem.
That's gonna have to be your problem because I'm burnt out.
And it's okay to say, yes, right. And it's okay to say that. And I tell my mom that even with her mom, because my grandma, she just be running us. And I be like, yo, grandma, we literally working a lot. I know that you seem like you be home in your apartment or whatever you be doing, but we out here working.
Yes.
Like, relax.
I just was talking to my therapist the other day. She said, soon as you sit down and you get a moment and you're available, that doesn't mean you're available for somebody else or for somebody else to have you do something. Just because you see me sitting in a room with my door shut and I'm just chilling and I'm not doing nothing, what it looks like to you, I'm not doing nothing, but I'm actually getting a peace of mind and I'm trying to catch my breath. This is my me time. You think that I'm available to do something, drive you here, take you there, do this. No, I'm not. I'm not even mentally, emotionally available for that. I have to woosah.
Yes. Yes. And you know, but stand firm on your darn boundaries. Don't let nobody make you feel bad for choosing you.
That's what they do.
People don't always choose them.
Yes.
And if they don't choose them, then that's they got some boundary issues within themselves that they got to work out. But I say, don't ever feel bad for choosing you, because at the end of the day, this is our life and we only get one life. That's it. So I'm not going to be reflecting on my life when I'm in my 90s on my deathbed talking about, damn, I wish I could have did this, but I was so busy where I'm here and doing this for mom and doing this for auntie and uncle. No, I'm choosing me. And I'm sorry that they, you know, or for them, y'all created these unhealthy, you know, just these unhealthy habits that y'all had to work through. But we breaking chains over here and we're not doing that over here. And that's what I tell them all the, I mean, I do what I can do. And I always also say, you know, with proper communication. So if you tell me in advance that, don't call me on Monday telling me at Monday at 2:00 p.m. that you need something at 4:30 p.m. Don't do
okay.
I'm not showing up. I'm sorry. I need 24 to 48 hours. That's my rule.
Even more than that. And that's another thing I was going to say. So I agree with your boundaries should stretch you. They should be big. You know, your goals should stretch you. They should be big. But also for people that's just starting out and creating goals and setting goals for themselves, small things, small boundaries is a goal. That's a goal. So even just to say, like, telling somebody no, your plan is, your goal is to tell this specific person, I'm being specific, about what I'm saying. This is what I mean. And this is a goal that I'm setting for myself. And it's a boundary. And it will not be crossed for nobody. So that's, you know, that's attainable.
Wrong with that. That's right. That's right. And at those, and it might seem small for a person, but for the person that's actually implementing that boundary, that's freaking major.
Yes.
Especially if you don't know how to communicate for yourself, you haven't been taught those skills to stand up for yourself and to create them boundaries. So when you start deciding to do it, that is scary. It's major. And then can you think about all the loss that's associated with choosing you? Well, all the people that say they're going to be by your side, supposed to have all the unconditional love and all this and all that. When you start choosing you and standing up for yourself and making yourself a priority, people literally begin to fall off. And it's like, dang, I thought that you was going to be here to the end. But
you don't get the text messages. You don't get the phone calls. You don't get the likes on Instagram.
No, seriously, you don't. All because I said no.
Because I switched up and changed my lifestyle and I'm creating boundaries for myself and I chose not to do those things anymore.
Yep. So hold on, y'all, just because I know it's time, but I do just got, this is the last slide anyway.
Okay.
But just some tips to remember when we are engaging in this process and this manifestation goal setting, you know, process. First thing, I want you to know that repetition is key. So first thing first, y'all, we should engage in this manifestation process at least once a week. I know I do. And I do it probably more than that in a week. I'm always reviewing those 8 areas, my response to those 8 areas, and then always working on my objectives. That's either daily, every other day, but I have my notebook, my one notebook that I write in. It's this one. So, well, I have several of them, but it's this one that I'm working on right now. And you want to do this all the time. And then you also want to engage in that, where I said that make it spicy, like that manifestation process. You want to at least engage in that at least once a month, where you are setting a date with yourself and setting a whole vibe with you and making you a priority. But you want to do this on at least a weekly basis. Okay. So repetition is key. Also, you want to reward yourself, as we've been talking about, you know, making fun for ourselves, making time for us to enjoy ourselves, to have fun. All work and no play is whack. And that's not the lifestyle that, you know, we're the magicians of our lives. So we can paint any picture that we want to create. So why create one where you're working all day, you're not going, you know, you're not having no fun, you're not enjoying your life? Like, why do that? Like, no, break change, create a new cycle, right? Just because you're seeing your parents doing it or your grandparents living a life that, you know, they were not happy with, that is not the same for you. We are breaking chains, period. All right. Number 3, also think about the consequences, right? So when I think about the consequences, and when I talk about the consequences, think about who will suffer if you don't push through. Think about who in your tribe will suffer if you don't push through. Think about who in your community will suffer if you don't push through. I always think of, like, for me, I'm the firstborn on my mom's side. So, and then it's a 13-year difference when they start going down to my brothers and sisters. So when they see me and they see me accomplishing all these things, and I might be so hard on myself, but I'm a motivation to them. So if I was to stop, you know how they would look at me? They would look at me and not have that sparkle in their eyes. They would look at me and think like, darn, but if my big sister can't do it, can I really do it? Because she's always so motivated, you know? So you really got to think about the consequences behind you giving up, and you can't give up. There's no giving up at all, right? And then last but not least, even though it piggybacks off of number 2, but it's also about enjoying yourself. Like this whole process, when we talk about the goal setting process and the manifestation process, this is a process that is meant to be enjoyed. If you're doing this with haste in your heart, or you feeling like it's a chore or whatever, no, then don't do it that day. Do it a day where you have joy in your heart, where you're feeling good about waking up in your skin and manifesting what it is that you want to manifest in your life. This process should be fun, y'all. It's a fun process. And like I said, it's a simple process, but consistency is key. And a lot of times people will not be consistent on this journey. And it's important that we stay consistent so that we can reach the goals that we set for ourselves. So that's the end for me. I definitely want to say thank you to Tawana for sure for inviting me here. And also yes, so this is my information. Antinette develops, Antinette_develops on IG, my Facebook page, Antinette develops all, my website, also have my newsletter. You can sign up on my website for my newsletter, my podcast. You can schedule an appointment if you want. And then I do have boss. I don't know. Can I talk about my boss manifestation meetings?
You sure can.
Okay, great. So God placed it in my heart to start a boss manifestation support group. And this is my 3rd support group, will be January 6th, 2022 at 7 p.m. And it's a group of us where we meet monthly and we talk about our goals, we talk about our visions, we talk about our dreams. Last meeting we talked about finances. It's just a group of us guiding this process. God says, and I am a spiritual person, so I'm always talking about God because I believe in him wholeheartedly. But God says, oh, you need 2 people to bring your vision into fruition. And right now it's a group about 8 of us. But if it's only 2 of us that show up, that's okay, because we can make things happen, because God said all you need is 2 to bring your vision into fruition. So I hope to see y'all at the next meeting if you can come, and I would really appreciate that. And Tawana, if you ever need me to come back, girl, I'm willing to come back and share whatever, join the conversation. I really do appreciate this.
Look, I'm glad you came back for the 2nd year in a row. I was thinking about you. I said, let me reach out to Antoinette. She's so consistent. Like I said, you always on your sugar honey iced tea. You're always supporting everything sisters do. And even if it's in the spiritual realm,
That's
right. I know you down for us. So I'm like, Antoinette, she always got a good message. So I definitely was glad to be here and do the goal setting workshop with you.
Thank you.
And the next thing was going to be to give your contact information, everything like that. So you got it up on the screen. And anybody who's coming back to watch this, you'll be able to stay in contact with Antoinette. She got a lot going on, and looking forward to doing more things with her within the community. So I'm just so proud of you. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you.
Thank you. And I appreciate too. I really do. I appreciate you so much. And Kiara, it was nice meeting you. I already follow you on IG and all that stuff. So it was nice,
Yes, it was nice to meet you too.
Yes, for sure. Yep. And hopefully I can get to your events next summer. I seen you was doing some stuff. So
I hope to bring it all back.
Yeah, we do.
Come on.
It's gonna be on my goal list.
Okay.
It's gonna be on my list.
That's right. Let's work on them.
Be on my list.
That's right. Let's make it happen.
Did you want to give your contact information for your events and things like that?
Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Sure. So all that I do can be found on Instagram and Facebook, Here More Therapeutic Services or Embracing Oak Therapy. So I started something called, because I'm a self-care advocate, so I have a self-care circle. So I started more of a membership kind of thing to do. I noticed a lot of people, like you talked about, a lot of people say they want to do it, but when it really comes down to it, when you invest in yourself and when you make an investment, you are more likely to follow through. And so all of that can be found on Instagram, or you can go to my website, kiaratimore.com, to be a part of the self-care circle. I'm still going to do general stuff, but a lot of my stuff is going to be done within the membership. So yeah, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook, or my website, kiaratimore.com, or Embracing Oak Therapy. And if you know anyone looking for therapy, Embracing Oak is accepting clients all the time. So that's embracingoak.com. Yes, Medicaid and Highmark.
Okay.
We have 5 therapists right now. I'm about to add a 6th person onto my team. It is going really well, and it's 100% virtual. So anyone in Delaware can get the services because it's right at your fingertips.
I love that.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And then some couple of things to look out for. Sisters coming up for next year in January. We'll be hosting Sisters Grace, which is our online support group, in person. So we'll be doing it once a month. We'll be meeting up at maybe like a restaurant or maybe a activity or something like that, just to kind of get back into a social life. We all been kind of like isolated and things like that. And I know, people going through a lot behind the scenes. So everybody's kind of like strayed away from just being in contact with one another. So we just plan to bring that back into fruition and get back together and start connecting more. And also next week for our speaker series, we'll be having Miss Krista Harris on here, and we'll be talking about the importance of mental wellness. So definitely click the link in Supporting Sisters bio on Facebook or Instagram and sign up. It's free. It's free information for community development. And if you know somebody, refer somebody. And we just all looking to connect and build the community. So I'm so glad that you ladies joined us tonight. And have a great night. And definitely I'll be in contact with both of you ladies really soon. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much. Later, y'all.
Right.
Later.